Across the Potomac River in this sleek Virginia office space, Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale is quietly building a massive re-election campaign far different from the insurgent 2016 operation.
This is a real, as traditional as Donald Trump gets, operation versus 2016.
Yes, it's traditional but not traditional. There's traditional senses to it that we now have an operation in time to build out a building that has proper desks in it, proper things. Last time, it was not for any fault of some of the people that run it, but it just was fly by the night sometimes because it was going so fast. And this time we already know. We already have the President of the United States. We have the incumbency. We know where we're going.
The Trump campaign never really ended.
I, Donald John Trump.
In a highly unusual move, the president filed for re-election the day he was inaugurated. A year later, he hired Parscale, who long worked with the Trump organization but never in politics before the 2016 campaign as digital media director.
I think maybe for other candidates it wouldn't have been right, and maybe I'd never been here sitting in this chair in any other situation, but I wake up every day believing I'm the right guy for this situation.
In 2016, Parscale, along with Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, bought an unprecedented number of digital ads on platforms like Facebook, targeting their message thanks to a massive voter data vault. Reince Priebus started at the RNC, which is still growing and a big part of the 2020 plan.
And it now has hundreds of millions of records and voter history, consumer data. And when we put polling data into that machine and we say this is what's happening, it can spit out models of saying these are the people you need to talk to and this is the messages you should talk to them about. Imagine that it's a country before with no roads and no maps and no directions. And all of a sudden you can layer another piece of paper over it that tells you where everything is.
How is it different now?
I think you see a massive injection directly into your devices and to the places we can communicate with you where you can't turn away.
What do you mean by that?
Text messaging, other technologies and other things. There's other ability.
Well, Obama used that in 2008.
Yeah, but not to the scale. Look, Facebook he had used also. The only difference is the scale we used it, the precision we used it. And we can continue to scale and precision.
Like stepping up technology, turning rally goers into volunteers.
We had one election, we won. Now we're going to be 2-0, and everything's going to be perfect.
10,000 people might walk in each rally. Those 10,000 people might know 10 people. They are the army that wants to work for the president. And so we need to give them digital technology right on their phone as they're waiting for the president, while they're standing outside, while it's a couple of days before when they're excited, they have the interest. They're peaking of, I'm going to go see the president. You say, hey, here are some activities we'd like you to do. Who are your 10 friends you do it? It's much more efficient 2 years out to try to find a possible voter, a possible donor. It's just a considerable advantage that the other side won't have because you just can't replace time.
It is still a family affair. Kushner has a leading role, as do son Eric and his wife Laura, who has an official senior advisor title. But they all know who's really in charge.
How involved is the president in this?
And the president stays involved. And when I show him the direction we're going, the things we're building, he's excited. And he gives me input, like this is what we think we should be doing. He's always, and I've always said, he's the campaign manager, the communications director, the finance director. He is the master of the Trump train, and I'm the conductor on it.
Now, Trump sources tell us that in 2016, the candidate was angry when he learned that 50% of his campaign ad budget went to digital ads. But then, after he won, he got it. Now we are told to expect Trump 2020 to focus even more on Facebook and other online platforms, as you just heard from Parscale. But this is an important part of that to emphasize, that they are going to use detailed information on voters kept at the RNC in order to really target these voters with messages based on where these voters stand and what they care about. Jake.
And Dana, as you know, the Democratic National Committee is really trying hard to catch up with the amount of data that the Republicans had in 2020.
They are. They're trying very hard to do that. It's going to be, it's possible, but it's going to be a tough road to try to get there by 2020. For lots of reasons, the DNC is behind, and the fact that they have somebody who's so focused on digital at the helm of the Trump campaign, they hope will help keep Trump ahead.